This video is for teachers at Mountain to show you how to check textbooks in and out using Follett Destiny on a mobile device. Now, you can also check textbooks in and out using any computer and a barcode scanner, but this is one way that's quite simple to do. The first thing to do is to download the free Follett Destiny app from the Apple or Android store and put it on your device. A recent model device is best because then you will have the scanner capability through the camera on your device. If your iPad or Android is a little bit older, you would have to enter everything by hand, which is fraught with possibilities for making mistakes. If that's the case, you'd be better off getting a different device or using a computer and a barcode scanner. But in any case, look for this particular icon that you see here right in front of you, because there are several Follett apps and several Destiny apps, but the one you're looking for is Follett Destiny. Load it onto your device, and again, a little bit more advice on that particular thing. Do not use a device or iPad that students can access. You're going to keep your password secure, but it's even more secure if you don't let students have access to the device you're going to use to check in textbooks. We need to keep those very expensive databases safe. So the first thing to do is open the app, and you'll see that it looks like this. It says connect. And then you type in the URL library.sd35.bc.ca. Click connect. Then you can scroll down to our particular library once you see all the libraries in the school district, and choose RE Mountain Secondary Library. Now, this is really important to keep confidential because of the cost of our textbooks, which are up to $160. So please do not share your password, and do not allow students to check books in and out for you. They can certainly help you by passing you books, reading out barcodes, and so on, but don't let them enter. Thank you. So first of all, use your first initial and last name as your user ID. Your password is your employee number. Remember, keep it confidential. Once you're logged in, you can see your name up here at the top. You can see Barb Cress's name because I borrowed her user ID. By the way, that's not a good idea for you to borrow anyone else's. Always log in as yourself, and then we can trace what you have done or not done depending on whether or not there's questions. So you're now in Destiny Textbook Manager, which you can see here at the bottom. And we're ready to learn how to check things in and out. You can see on the left-hand menu right here the Checkout tab, the Check-in tab. Checkout means you're signing books out to students. Check-in means the students are returning their books and you're checking them into the system. Patron status means you can find out about what the student has out and overdue and so on, and even just the barcode numbers of their particular books. And item status will tell you about a book that you have in front of you. This app allows you to do several functions, and the one that I just mentioned was this one here, item status. The cool thing about that is you can click on that, enter a textbook barcode number up here, and then you can see who a book belongs to. So that's great for kids who are always leaving their textbooks lying around. But here's how to check in textbooks as students return them. Now, the important thing here is that if you think you're being efficient to collect a whole pile of books to check in later, it will cause you all kinds of grief. Check in the books one at a time while the student's there in front of you, and show them afterwards that it was checked in. You just have to check their status, the patron status, afterwards. If it wasn't checked in properly, the book they returned probably belonged to someone else. That's where you're going to have difficulty if a student comes to you afterwards and says, "I'd returned a book." They probably handed in someone else's. When a student returns a textbook, the first thing to do is to choose Check-in on the left-hand menu, and then enter the barcode here at the top where it says Textbook Barcode. Note that the textbook barcodes always start with an X. You could enter that by hand, or you can also scan it in. Let me show you how to do that. To scan a textbook into the Follett Destiny app, all you need to do is click on the scan button over here and hold the device's camera over the barcode on the textbook, and then press the scan button again. When you hold the device camera over the barcode, it will gradually come into focus and register in the Fall at Destiny app. The checked-in book will show up here at the top where you can see it. And what you should do, though, however, is to read it very carefully and make sure that that was the book you were checking in. Read the barcode again and double-check the title. Once you've checked the book in, it's a really good idea while the student is standing there in front of you to go into patron status over here and then enter their student number and find out what books they still have out. That way, both you and they can confirm that they returned their own book. This is not a model patron, but it's a good example because this person doesn't have any titles on hold, but you can tell they've got 42 books checked out, which is ridiculous, and 11 of them are overdue. This person also has $13 worth of fines that they need to deal with. And so if you want more details on that, you just go over here to the side where there's a little arrow and you can get more information. Here you can see that this patron also has books even from another school. There's an area here at the bottom where there are special notes that tell you whether or not the person has talked to the library staff or talked to another teacher about this particular book. Anything perhaps about the fine being waived, just any particular notes that we need to know when we're signing books in and out to that student or that teacher in this particular case. If you scroll down a little bit further, you will find the lineup of textbooks that the person has out, and you can see the details of those, including the barcode number. We've learned how to check textbooks in when students have returned them, but now we're going to learn how to check them out in September or at other times throughout the year when you need to sign books out to students. The first thing to do then is to go up here to the Checkout tab, and then, just as we did before, enter a barcode number right here for the actual book. Again, you can do it by just doing it by hand, or you can scan it in. This is what it looks like through the camera. But be careful at this point. If students have overdues or fines, a message will come up to tell you that. Do not sign books out until those books are paid for or returned by the student. This is what the screen looks like when a patron has a fine or an overdue book. You'll get a message saying that the checkout has been blocked. So the best thing to do here is to click Cancel. If you were to try and bypass that because you know the student has to have your textbook out, what you are in essence doing is undermining your colleagues who are trying to get their books back for their classes. And so the best thing to do here is to click Cancel and to then go into patron status, find out what the student owes, tell them what they owe, and tell them they can return that material or pay those fines in the library. As soon as a student does that, then you can go ahead and sign books out to them. Now, if that goes on for any length of time, let us know in the library. I will send out a message asking people to let us know who has not yet got their textbooks signed out. I'll compile a list and forward that to the admin. Thank you. Now, this is all brand new for everybody, so if you have any questions about using the Fall at Destiny app, see Allison or Leanne in the library. And if you prefer to use a computer and barcode reader, then we have some barcode readers available, and you can just sign one out and come and use it, or you can come down to the library and use it with us, so you can return your books here and we can work on it together. Here's a video that was put on YouTube by another teacher librarian just explaining what the Fall at Destiny app is. It doesn't go into as much detail as this tutorial that I put together, but it certainly does show you how to physically set up your desk and your device to scan in the books and use this app for checking textbooks in and out. Thanks.